Good morning to all traders. I want to talk about two minors today, the Aussie, Swiss franc, and also the dollar against the Mexican peso. There is, of course, various reasons why I want to talk about those. First of all, from a technical perspective, both are going to the downside, but the main point is that they have a long way to go. So because they offer a very good risk to reward ratio, this is the main reason I'm talking about those two. Now, on the fundamental front, we've had the Australian dollar falling because of some poor, disappointing job numbers the other overnight, and also some Chinese weak data. Now, if you include the trade war, the most recent trade war dramatization with the phase one delay, then Aussie is most likely going to be under pressure, right? Now, on Mexican peso, on the other hand, we're going to talk about that in a minute. We've had the interest rate decision from the Mexican Banxico, pretty much Mexican bank, cutting rates to 7.5, and this is going to affect the Mexican peso, I believe, in the shorter term. But let's stay tuned and see that in a couple of minutes. Now, first, I want to start with Aussie Swiss franc. Aussie Swiss franc, in the longer term, okay, we are, let me just go on the 4-hour charts because like this, we might not be able to see much. So we are down here with primary 1, right? Primary 2, then we're going 3, 4, and 5. Within this primary wave to the downside, we're looking at, of course, the intermediate waves too in the smaller degree. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going again down for another fifth wave. Now, down on the 2 hours again, how I see this happening, right? Because at the moment, we've just completed intermediate wave 3 down here, right? So we've got minor 1, 2, minor 3, 4, and 5. This ended the intermediate, and then we had a minor correction around the 69 levels. This completes intermediate wave 4 and also primary wave 4, okay? So after the break of this nice ending triangle, we've had minor wave 1. We're expecting now minor wave 2, then 3, 4, and 5. Now, this is going to take us most likely below that level, of course, because we want to see a fresh low. This is what is going to pretty much successfully complete wave 5 of this primary, intermediate, and also minor wave. Now, I'm expecting a small correction that is going to go around the 50 or 61 points Fibonacci, right? Now, from here, the 100 Fibonacci is at 0.6611. The 161 Fibonacci is at 0.6486. Then we're looking, of course, at this probably being wave 3, a correction, and then wave 5 to the 200 Fibonacci or 2.618. So this is going to create, of course, lower lows, and is going to be a very good risk-to-reward ratio if it's traded correctly. Now, on the other pair I wanted to talk about is, as I said before, the dollar against the Mexican peso. We've had this very nice impulsive move yesterday, and it was expected, of course, after the Banxico, the Bank of Mexico, decided to cut rates. Now, let me just go a little bit further out on this as well. We talked about that. Excuse me, actually, this should be an intermediate. Let's just change that quickly. So this is intermediate wave, right? So we're talking about that. Last time we talked about this was a few weeks back. So we saw that as being 1, 2, and then we're looking for another move to the downside for 3, 4, and 5. So in the longer term, now this wave 2, right? We've had this complex pattern, which is a W, X, and Y. It looks like now we've ended up here with another complex correction as well, okay? After completing that high around over 20, actually, we started going down. We've had minor wave 1 completed, wave 2 completed as well, and wave 2 node is quite sharp. So we're gonna get now wave 3, then 4, most likely to be a triangle, okay, and then wave 5. And this is going to end to complete wave 3, and then we should have again a 4 and 5 in the intermediate term. Now, both signals are being supported by the RSI and the MACD. Now, what I'm looking at is at this minute wave, okay? We've had a complex correction again to the upside, right? So in case we remain below that level, okay, which is the 1950 or so, we're most likely looking at a duplication of this first wave, okay? And this is going to take prices around the 1863, right? Or even we can get an extension of this wave and go down to 1816 before we get a correction. So in the short and medium term and longer term, both Aussie CHF and also USD MXN, which is Mexican peso, are looking quite bearish.